Support for the show can be you. Go to patreon.lux.b and sign up there to get access to ad-free shows and a lot of other behind-the-scenes goodies. Lux Media just relaunched the merch shop, and there's a lot of new stuff going up all the time. Shop.lvx.be and get yourself hooked up. Patreon subscribers, that's patreon.lvx.be, get 20% off codes every single month. So it's ad-free and it's discounts. I don't know what else more you want.
The B-side in boxing.
B-side shit.
B-side. B-side. And the B-side.
Don't brag about taking my side piece! Don't brag about taking my side piece!
That B-side thing.
This is the B-Sides Boxing Podcast.
I left with his belt and his girl.
Who's fighting, like, somebody that everyone was complaining about?
It's not...
Oh, it's Opataya.
Oh, that's right. He just had his shit announced too, and that is an absolute stinker.
Yeah. I didn't recognize the guy's name, but I don't think that's just because he's heavy. I think he's just not very famous. Had this stupid cough for a month now. It won't go away. I think I might have actually caught a pretty bad lung infection when my brother was here and just ignored it because my brother was here.
Oof.
Which, not good.
No.
I convinced myself that I had pulled a muscle when I was drunk one night, but I think it might have just been my lung was hurting. Because this cough won't go away.
A while ago, I caught bronchitis out of nowhere. I seriously don't remember where, and that was, that lasted for like a month. This shit was not pleasant.
Yeah. Well, we're getting into when my allergies get really bad, because all the cherry trees are going off. So, it's probably not going to get better for quite a while. The air quality forecast is also shit. Sometimes stuff blows over from, like, India and the manufacturing areas over there.
Yeah, so. China too, I bet.
Yeah.
I need more info on this one. Teofimo says he's leaving Eddie Reynoso. That I thought was going to be like a powerhouse move for him. Someone that'll keep him in check.
What were the guys talking about this morning? I mean, I didn't see any actual evidence of it, but Keyshawn Davis knocked out Teo Sr.? Or...
oh.
Okay, so Shakur Stevenson tweeted, "Never in my life could I sit there and watch my peer knock my dad out and not throw a single punch." And then somebody else was, somebody, like, they're just chatting about it. Anyways, if Teo's dad got knocked out, he fucking deserved it.
Yeah, he's not the type I'd be too upset about.
Yeah.
When you know the boxing dad, they're problematic. The only good one I've ever seen was Leo Santa Cruz's dad. He was the only one who was ever really mellow.
I mean, Inui's dad seems pretty chill. Lomachenko's dad's a good coach.
Yeah, he coaches Usyk too, so he's good at it.
I mean, there's more bad ones probably than good ones, but there are a couple boxing dads that seem fine.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, here, I got what I want to be. The first one. Do you have the doc open?
Yeah.
Okay. Inoue's debut, re-debut in the U.S. versus who? Question mark?
Yeah.
Ramon Cardenas. He's a pro box guy. So he's not terrible, but like, come on, this is like an all-timer for this generation.
There's no Americans that
no
have anything for Inoue. Like, if they were gonna do this, they should have done it with Fulton.
Yeah, should have.
Like, now there's nobody for him to fight.
There's still options. I mean, I say I think the only one that still says it, but I think MJ's still a good fight to make. He's I wouldn't mind seeing the MJ fight, but I mean, he's not American. True.
I don't think MJ is much of a draw in the States.
I would imagine he's not even a draw in Uzbekistan. Just a guess.
Like, I don't know that MJ would bring in any more people.
No. So this is the same situation that happened with Inoue the first time. Is he didn't have a solid opponent. The opponents were all like scattered throughout the rest of the card, and it ended up being a stinker because the guy just came out to like he was seriously on his bike from the first bell all the way to the end. He was on his bike, and Inoue was like,
who did he fight in the States? It was Maloney, right?
He did, but that was during COVID, so
oh, okay,
not quite the same thing. Yeah, I think he fought Jason.
And he fought in Scotland once too, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so. I
Let's
might
have
be
a look.
wrong. Yeah, he fought Emmanuel Rodriguez
That's
in
right.
Glasgow.
That was part of the Super Series.
Antonio Neves. Will I recognize his face? I don't think I know that name. Oh, I recognize his face.
His relative nobody.
His Bacharach picture is
Him with
bad.
a cut. Yeah, him with a cut on his fucking face.
Like, some of them look stupid, but this just looks like he had his ass kicked.
Yeah, they did him dirty with that one. Antonio Nieves, I was at that one, and like the crowd was very much in favor of Inoue. Like he was apologizing, like, man, I'm really sorry. I tried my best to make it exciting, but there's only so much I can do by myself without the opponent coming to compete.
Yeah.
Everybody was like completely understanding. It was at the they call it Punch Bowl in a StubHub Center. Now it's a Dignity Health Sports Park, but it's like no shit a gladiator arena.
Really? That
Seriously.
sounds awesome.
It's really cool. There's something about that venue when people come in. They come in for hungry, thirsty for blood. They want their pound of flesh from the opponent. It's
nice.
It's wild. I don't know what that venue does to people. That's the one where Brian Mendoza upset Fundora, and he got that like leaping fucking knockout.
Yeah.
And he sent the tall man crumbling. Something about StubHub. I'm gonna keep calling it StubHub because Punch Bowl's kind of cheesy, but
well, that's also just how old people work.
Dignity Health Sports Park is a mouthful. That's all.
It is.
Man, it's. I hope that the card is at least better. Like you're not with this opponent, you're not gonna sell just Inoue by himself. Like you're gonna have to put other good fights on there. Put Abdullah Mason on there. Richard
They've already
Torres.
got Espinoza listed to fight Vasquez.
Oh, it's a double header. That's right. Oh, I'm gonna have to try to go to this.
I mean, you had to try to go to it anyways.
Of course, I was gonna try anyway, but now I'm gonna double try.
Nice. Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
My American geography is not great, but that's like next door to Arizona, right?
Yeah, it would take me man, back a while ago before COVID, I had a sports car. I could get there in like 3 hours. Now it takes
that's
me
not
like,
very far.
It takes me like 4. I have a small car now.
I mean, that's what I used to drive most weekends to visit my parents when I went to university. 4 hours there, 4 hours back.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And it's my... I don't know if this is irresponsible. Probably is, but I don't... it's a weekend turnaround kind of thing. Like, I don't need to get a pet sitter to come check in on them. Like, my pets are old enough where they regulate their own food consumption without me needing to make sure they don't overeat or undereat or anything.
Nice.
Yeah, I got big kids now.
My dogs were always like that. Everybody's like, you don't have them on a feeding schedule? Because I'd be like at the bar and like, fuck it, dog's fine.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, no, why would you put your dog on a feeding schedule? Then you have to be home at certain points in the day. Like,
I had that problem when my dog was younger. She's a hound, so they just gobble up everything in front of them, and she turned into like a little sausage with that had 4 little sticks, like a little kid drawing like an animal or something. Like, that's what she looked like. So I had to get her on the schedule, and she's better now. Now that she's older, like, I can leave her stuff out and she'll be fine.
No, my dogs get a certain amount of food a day. If they eat all of that food, then they're hungry.
Yep.
They figure it out.
Yeah, she's figured it out too. Is if I gobble it up now, I'm gonna be hungry later.
Yeah, our puppies, when we first got them, they were probably starving. It was just like some guy had accidental puppies, is what it was. So he wasn't particularly feeding them enough or anything. And when we first got them, they ate everything.
Oh.
Like, everything. And then they'd throw up. So they were only allowed to eat outside, and we'd give them their bowl. They'd eat outside. They'd eat all their food, and then they'd go look for like grasshoppers and frogs and things. Like, these dogs thought they were starving, and then they'd throw up. But after a couple weeks, they figured it out.
I have a cat that I found on the street. Like, I say it all the time. I found him under a dumpster behind a restaurant, behind a diner, and he's fat as shit now. He still eats like he's on the streets.
Yeah.
Even though there's always food for him, but man, tubby little bastard. Speaking of tubby little bastards, Adrian Broner, loaded fucking dice. What the hell is he doing? I'm trying to find a story on this because this is just too good. I know that it's a real thing. I saw the headline as well, but
Well, and I'm pretty sure it's a new mugshot. It's not his old mugshot that's going around.
It is. I would recognize his old one if I saw it.
Well, also he looks old as fuck in this mugshot. $6 million. He ripped off NBA players for $6 million.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That is wild. I'm curious how you would even get away with that. Like,
well, they must have, like, it must have been underground games, right?
Of course, it was just like, quote unquote, among friends, just having fun, shooting dice, like the same way people have like poker nights or whatever.
Well, that's the other thing. Who plays dice with friends?
It's a it's a thing,
a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's like a black people thing. Playing dice. Wasn't sure how I wanted to put that, but I mean, that's what it is.
I sure have never played dice for money. Well, no, that's a lie. For real money with my friends.
I played poker for a little while.
I guess my family does have a dice game that we play for money, kind of big quotes on that. It's like $0.25 a game, but if you decided to put real money on it, you could.
Yeah, that's how the bingo was for us.
I was picturing like craps.
It's like a simplified version of craps.
Fair enough.
But I've never played. I've seen people play. I've kind of just watched. Like, I don't understand what's happening here, but this is exciting because I see money moving hands, and
Yeah.
so it's fun.
Loaded dice.
Seriously, I've only heard of those.
Well, I used to play D&D, and I had a friend that made himself a set of loaded dice, but he loaded it to be ones.
Was he like purposefully like tanking it?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. If he thought it was funny, he would pull out these dice and then like purposefully fuck up bad, so the DM had to come up with something.
Honestly, that is actually pretty cool. That is something I would do 100%.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. And then I'm also suspicious he had one that was loaded for like 17. Like, not a guaranteed hit, but loaded that he'd usually hit. But we never proved that one. Yeah, he wouldn't confirm that one ever. But
man, Broner, like, what are you doing, dog?
I want to know which NBA players
I do
he scammed.
Who? It's got to be the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's an Ohio guy, so it's got to be them.
Yeah. Or I was wondering if just like one or two retired ones.
Maybe.
Like, I don't watch NBA.
I don't either.
Like Charles Barkley or somebody. Like, I want to know how famous they were.
Yeah.
Are these names that I recognize?
Or you like playing with the benchers, the subs.
Fucking Broner.
Broner, man, what are you doing?
I thought he was trying to get his comeback going.
Seriously, it's a redemption. It would have been a redemption story. Like, he finally taking shit seriously, and I don't know.
Instead, he's out here scamming the whole hood.
Right.
Come on.
The whole hood knows that those weren't loaded dice. He's the other one that I say, my old refrain of game recognized game. Broner needs to get some help. Then it's not help that loaded dice is going to give you.
Yeah, no, Broner is just...
He needs help.
He's always going to be a big what-if story.
Man, because like 135 Broner, before he did the jump to fight Marcos Maidana, 135 Broner was a fucking problem, and no pun intended that was his like ring name. He was a problem. That guy was I mean, I'm trying to figure out a good analogy, a good analog for him. But he, like, super fast hands, really smart footwork. Counters were really sharp. And his power was excellent at 35, and he lost it moving up.
Pretty Boy Floyd almost.
Yeah, Pretty Boy-esque.
Yeah, like not late career Mayweather, but early career Mayweather. People compared him to that a lot, and then he just fucked it up. Yeah.
Maidana beat more than just his undefeated record off. It's too bad.
And then he goes out and gets loaded dice. What a fucking tool.
Have you? Well, maybe you probably haven't, but he has like a record label about Billions Records, and he himself has put out rap albums. They're not very good, but I gave him a shot.
I have not heard them.
Gotta try to.
I doubt it would be my kind of music.
Yeah, I had to try to support my brother in bipolarness. But it was just difficult to listen to. I don't know. Maybe I don't get it. That might be what it is. I just don't get it. Oh, man. Moving down. Man, AJ. Injured.
Yeah, I missed the injury. What's he injured with?
I'm still trying to find out. All that I know is that they had been working towards the Tyson Fury fight because this apparently the Saudis are interested in putting it on, and they were so interested in putting it on they were willing to put it on in the UK.
Well, if that fight happens, it has
to be. You can't put that shit in Riyadh.
Yeah, so I wonder if this is related to the Jake Paul rumors.
Jake Paul and AJ?
Yeah, you didn't hear that?
No. What?
So, yeah, there's rumors that Jake Paul and AJ are gonna fight.
That is a big money fight.
That that started like a week ago, and now AJ's injured.
Magically.
I wonder.
Yeah. He didn't have anything in the pipeline. Like, why would he be feigning the injury to pull out of?
He loses to Jake Paul.
It would be time to hang it up. Become an influencer or something. Because that shit is unacceptable. You're an actual, legit, 2-time heavyweight champion, and you lose to Jake Paul. Time to pack it in, champion. It's time to go home.
Yeah. So, what's Eddie Hearn's quote in this Daily Mail article? He needs another 8 weeks or so on his injury. He had a little bit of a setback, and he won't be punching for about that period of time.
Broken hand.
So really, it's got to be a hand or a torn bicep, right?
Yeah. 8 weeks.
It was a minor setback, but he's got to be physically right before he gets into training camp.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm just reading the quote.
No, I'm not saying you, but like, no shit, Eddie. Of course, that's the fucking point of camp. You go into it healthy, and then you improve from that.
I don't know why he would. Well, I don't know shit about training, I guess. I don't know why he'd be punching anything hard enough to break his hand, though. I wonder if it's a weightlifting injury. Because AJ looks like he likes to lift weights between camps.
He does do the Olympic style, like power cleans and that type of stuff. The explosive type of lifting.
You could tear a bicep doing that pretty easy, I think.
But yeah, I'm not sure how you would break a hand doing that unless you like drop a weight on yourself.
I mean, it could happen.
It could. It's just difficult.
That would be pretty
imagine.
Stupid.
In all my time powerlifting, I dropped a weight. It fell and then it landed on my foot after it fell and just kind of flopped over. So there's that, but broken hands.
I guess if you can't stand properly, you can't punch properly. It could be a foot. It could be anything.
Could be anything. I'm thinking if he's needing 8 weeks, it's a broken bone or like a torn ligament. That's gotta be.
I don't know why I went straight to bicep, but
that's
my gut's telling me torn bicep.
Yeah.
He's getting a little older. He likes to lift weights. That takes about 8 weeks.
Yeah, that exactly. It's something torn or broken bone, depending on the location. Like my hands, when I broke them, took 6 to 8 weeks. So, makes sense. But God, the other than Tyson Fury, I didn't know Jake Paul was on the table. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, AJ said he would fight Jake Paul.
Good. He'll just do the same thing he did to Ngannou. Just like end the farce.
Yeah, it would be good.
I'm not seeing in this little report I got that the top half of his body is injured from Eddie Hearn. That's his words. I'm on boxing news here. The top half of his body, there you go. I'll give you that. It's nothing major. He's returning to He's been returning to training. He's not quite ready to turn back to camp. 8 to 10 weeks before he can punch properly. That's it.
Yeah, it's a broken hand or it's a bicep.
It's got to be something. Yes, it's a pretty serious injury. Moderately serious, we'll say. Not career threatening.
AJ's getting old.
Yeah. AJ's younger than me.
Yeah, but he's getting old.
Yes, I am. That's what I mean, is that I'm old as shit, so.
I hadn't watched the NHL for a long time, and I watched it, and I was like, how is this guy still playing? And then I looked closer, and it's like his son is in the NHL now, and I was like, fuck. Like, stabbed me in the heart, Father Time.
Man, stabs in the heart. The TKO, the Dana White Saudi Boxing League, TKO boxing, the pay structure has come out, and it is atrocious. Oh my God, is it atrocious? So here's just the flat numbers. 20,000 for unranked fighters fighting in a 10-round bout. 20,000. 50,000 for fighters ranked in the bottom of the top 10. 125 for third and fourth. 375 for a championship challenger, and 750 for the champion defending his title.
These do not sound like big numbers to me.
This is not boxing standard. We're shaking up the sport. Like, yeah, you're gonna not get anybody worth a fuck.
My one question is, the UFC does pay the trainers and that sort of stuff, right?
They pay the cutmen. I don't know if they pay the trainers directly. I couldn't say that, but
yeah, I don't watch the UFC, but my understanding, and I could be very wrong, somebody can correct me, was that they pay the training fees and a bunch of those other things and medical bills and things, and then the fighter actually gets all this money themselves.
Oh, the even though the cost is lower, they're not having to split it amongst XYZ.
Yeah, like
different things.
The league pays some of the. They have doctors. A bit of the expenses.
They have medical staff and stuff on retainer.
The only way this makes sense at all is if they're doing something like that with the boxing, where you don't have to pay as much of the out-of-pocket things for your team. But this still doesn't seem like very much money to me.
No.
Like 20 grand, even if they're buying your equipment and your training and stuff, I make fucking 20 grand in 6 months. Like, it doesn't seem like very much money to go put your health on the line.
20 grand at the peak of my powers. That's like 2, maybe 3 months. But that was like peak time for me. Otherwise, it's like that. That's my 6 months too. This isn't. And these are high-level professional athletes.
That wasn't supposed to be a brag or anything. I don't think making $20,000 in 6 months is very impressive.
No.
No.
When you're talking about professional fighters, like, that is not a lot of money. I expect better.
And how many 10-round bouts do people really like? Once you're getting up into the 10-rounders, you're doing like 2 or 3 fights a year usually, right?
2 or 3, like 3 is probably maximum. If you got an early stoppage in one of them, perhaps.
Max, you're gonna make 60 grand a year. Assuming that this league or whatever they're calling themselves pays for fucking everything else. That's not very much money.
That's a very strong, like a very generous assumption too. I highly doubt they'll have. It's like the UFC. Like, from what I understand, they're gonna have some of the UFC infrastructure on the back end available to them. So they'll have training facilities, they'll have medical facilities that they could go to. So those things are taken care of. But like paying your coach, that's on you, I would imagine. And other lodging, housing expenses, or logistical expenses, that's on you. And how you arrange that, how do you arrange that out of 20K? Because like if you're getting Robert Garcia, you're paying that man a lot of money for his time. His time is extremely valuable. This is nonsense.
Like, best case scenario, absolute best case scenario, you're making construction worker money. Like, I don't know. I don't see this being a good deal for anyone to sign on with these guys.
No, like I think when this first came up, when we first talked about it, it was they're gonna get a lot of just kids signing on, and they're gonna like grow them up through this league structure, and they're not gonna know any better. And that's pretty much it.
But they're not gonna be in like North Korea. Like, they're gonna talk to other boxers. They're gonna realize they're getting fucked.
It's not
eventually.
All of because of how boxing works and how it works with and it happens with UFC as well. Like how it works with the athletic commissions. How much they get paid is public record. So that's how we know like Canelo's getting paid $35 million on his guarantee, and then we don't know what his splits are, but we know he gets a split on pay-per-view and gate. And these guys are not going to get that at all. Not even a little bit. Not even these like $750K for a title defense. Like Canelo defending his title against Edgar fucking Berlanga. He made $750,000 just walking to the ring. This is ridiculous. I know that Canelo's not a good example because he's like the very peak of the of the sport, but
like, who's a title holder that isn't very popular?
Espinosa.
Yeah. He's making more than $750,000 a fight.
I am beyond certain he's making more than that much. Even
Madrimov, like, what did Madrimov get paid
to fight Bud? That's not quite the
same.
Yeah, because the Saudis they inflate.
That's true.
Paychecks, the same shit that people were complaining about with Al Heyman. Saudis are doing some of the same things, and I'm not seeing a lot of the same complaints. Curious.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think this league's just gonna fuck over a bunch of kids and then disappear.
Yeah, they're not gonna last. Dana White's been trying to get himself into boxing for ages, and
well, and I don't know anything about this either, but the guys on the Pro Box podcast, like Chris Algieri and what's his name?
Paulie?
That one's Paulie. Yeah. They've been talking about the Muhammad Ali Act and how this structure just like is completely illegal.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
They keep just going, but Trump can change that, and he likes Dana White. So they need like the government to step in and change the laws for this to even be possible.
Not necessarily. What they need, and which is what they're going to get, is they need for the Muhammad Ali Act to not be enforced. That's
fair enough. Yeah, they don't need it changed. They just need it to not be enforced.
Which is this lines up perfectly. Of course, he's getting into boxing now that somebody is in the White House who's not going to enforce the Ali Act. Because if anybody tries to bring the case will just get sent to a court that is favorable to Dana White and Trump, and it won't even be heard.
I would like to say I don't think that would happen, but that could happen. But this structure is just straight up illegal in the U.S. right now.
If there was some, just all things, taking the political figureheads out of the equation, yes, illegal.
And I don't really understand, like, I haven't done any research into it. This is me kind of summarizing what they're saying. but it's because the promoters and the managers
Have to
can't
be separate.
also be, yeah, they can't be the same person. And there's something about the league structure as well. Like, you need to have a semblance of fighting outside your own little group as well, I think. I didn't really understand. But if anybody's interested, they've been talking about it over on the Pro Box podcast thing on YouTube for weeks now. There's lots of information from those two. And Algieri does a podcast with some other guy too, and they talked about it as well. Can't remember what that one's called or who the guy is. Is it John Boy or something?
That sounds familiar, but I don't know
It's
precisely.
the guy's dad invented CompuBox. Like, he started CompuBox.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyways, him and Algieri do a podcast as well. I just like Chris Algieri. He seems intelligent.
He is.
So.
He is 100 absolutely intelligent. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out the Pro Box, see what they have to say, like, on how. And Paulie, whatever his other faults might be,
He's actually smarter than I thought he was.
yeah, whatever his other faults, he is not stupid. He is not a stupid person at all.
No.
So
I hate him as a commentator, but on the podcast, he's actually, like, he brings up some good points, and he's not afraid to go against the grain and be loud about things.
yeah, that's like I said, despite his myriad of faults, well, at least as I see them anyway, the guy does, when it comes to, like, boxing and boxing business, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and he loves yelling, yeah, and if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. What the fuck are we talking about here?
Yeah.
It's like his unofficial catchphrase.
That sounds exactly like something he would say.
Yeah. Anyways, I highly recommend the Pro Box podcast. I really enjoy it.
I highly recommend Pro Box fucking anything.
Pro Box is good.
Pro Box?
I am pissed. It's not on the schedule for us to talk about, but I am pissed they moved to the weekend.
I am too. God damn, I'm so upset that they did that.
Like, why? You had your niche.
Yeah.
Stay on Wednesday.
Wednesday night fights was your thing.
Yeah. People were excited. You weren't competing with anything. Get the fuck back on Wednesday. Like, when you're on Saturday, there's going to be bigger fights I'm going to watch, and then I have to come back and watch you later. But for me, Thursday morning, I just made it so I had, like, a long incubation at work where I had to sit at my desk for an hour. Like,
oh, woe is me. I just have to stay at my desk. Oh, no.
yeah.
What?
Too bad that there's this boxing on Thursday morning.
Yeah, it was fun. Like, it was the Wednesday night fun. Like, just for all the quote unquote hardcore fans, I'd ping the hardcore fans like, hey, Pro Box is about to start. Like, let's fucking crack a cold one, man, because I don't know what we're about to see, but it's gonna be fucking wild. So let's.
Yeah. But on Saturday, there's just other shit going on.
Exactly. I'm not gonna ditch. I'm not gonna not watch Tank Roach so that I could watch Pro Box instead. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. And, like, I watched Pro Box later.
Of course, I do too.
But
when I miss it,
it's not as fun.
No.
And nobody's online to talk shit, and, like, it's just not as fun.
I try to do that.
Go back
sometimes.
to Wednesday.
Yeah, go back to Wednesday. Their numbers were solid. Like, they would show their numbers sometimes. I think it was an advertisement for sponsors. I think it was like look at the number of, like, concurrent viewers, peak viewers, that type of stuff.
Yeah, they were getting, like, hundreds of thousands of people sometimes.
Hundreds of thousands, like, peak concurrent viewers was in the millions, like 1.2 at some time, or I think that was over the span of all their cards in a month, but nonetheless, that's still a lot of people.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. Go back to Wednesday.
Seriously, go back to Wednesday.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah. Oh shit! Thanks for the tee up. Speaking of staying in your lane, Teofimo Lopez leaves Eddie Reynoso. What a fucking mistake. This is a mistake.
Yeah, but did Teofimo leave Reynoso, or did Reynoso kick him out? And he's letting him save face. Tio's seeming very crazy right now.
All right, I got some Lopez quotes here. I got news for you guys. I won't be trading with them, i.e. the Reynoso camp. I was looking forward to leaving tomorrow for camp with them. Maybe they don't feel I'm focused, which is pretty interesting. Could be a lot of things, just time frame. Maybe could be promoting. Eddie doesn't really elaborate. Didn't elaborate and speak to my father. I don't know if I did something wrong, or if it was me, or if they're just focused on themselves. So.
Yeah, that sounds like Reynoso choosing not to train Tio. And I don't really blame him. Tio's seeming really crazy, and so is his father right now.
Yeah, well, they're trying to promote their next card.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to deal with that. And to be honest, you could probably deal with Tio being crazy, but it's his dad. Nobody wants to deal with his dad.
I thought this was them. I thought that if anybody was going to be able to cut Teofimo Sr. out of this, it would have been Eddie. And just the quality of that camp would have been enough to get him out of the driver's seat.
I think Eddie probably thought he could cut him out as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was the deciding factor, was Tio's dad refusing to be cut.
Yeah.
Like, I feel so bad for Tio, and every time his dad talks to him when he's being like interviewed and stuff, you can just see him get so tense and flustered.
Yep, been saying it. He needs to. His career, I don't know if it's resurgence or what, but the second wind of what his career is right now is going to start when he ditches his dad. And that's obviously a lot to ask, but nonetheless, like, your own success depends on it.
Yeah, well, I think that really is a big part of what holds Tio back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I suspect if he got away from his dad, it would help with the crazy just getting away from his dad, but other people could step in and actually get him help with the crazy. Like,
here another quote is, "It doesn't make sense. Whatever the case may be, we love them, we appreciate them. I appreciate having that time with Eddie from that experience a little bit. It won't be the end of our story with them. They're just on tunnel vision right now. We'll see. Am I disappointed about it? Yeah, I am, but I take it as competition. I don't think they would have put me as the co-main to Canelo. I think they would have put me underneath Munguia, who is the co-main. He's a great fighter, but he's not Teofimo. When you refer to yourself in the third person, I was going to say I'd like to smack you, but you'd beat my ass anyway, so let's not do that."
Yeah. I feel really bad for Tio, but those quotes really do make it sound like Reynoso decided not to train him.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's unfortunate because Tio deserves better than his father lets him get.
Yeah. No, Tio... it doesn't seem to me like Tio has a very good life at home.
No, his family drove him to divorce, and now he doesn't get to see his kid. Not very often, anyway.
Yeah. Nah, I feel bad for Tio. But I really don't know what we're going to see in his next fight. I cannot nail it down at all. Like, the crazy levels are high enough we might get peak Tio, but his opponent is mid enough he might not.
I think it's gonna be okay. Barbosa isn't the best, but I think he's good enough to at least good enough to bring the best out of Lopez.
You think he's better than Kambosos?
Arnold Barbosa?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not that's not a very high barrier to get over.
It's not. It's not.
Well,
Cambo has another fight coming up too, doesn't he?
Yes.
How does that man keep getting such big fights?
it's this weekend. He's fighting in Australia against a late replacement. I don't remember who the replacement is. Something Wiley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Support for this episode is from Malwarebytes. Protecting yourself online is an absolute must, and it takes a lot more than just an antivirus to keep yourself safe in an ever-evolving world of attack sophistication. I've been working in IT for almost 20 years, and I've been trusting my personal network security to Malwarebytes for most of it. The browser add-on is another nice feature that keeps your system healthy if, let's just say, you want to watch sports on less than reputable websites. Combine that with real-time 24/7 intrusion detection and you're already cooking. I have the standard subscription package, which includes 24/7 malware protection, ad blocking, and protection from ransomware and phishing attacks. I use this on all of the computers that are in my network and even my phone. If you want to step it up to the Plus package, you'll also get the VPN in addition to everything else, which is, useful for watching random sports in Japan or Eastern Europe, if you are so inclined to do that. Start your 14-day free trial today and see the range of options Malwarebytes has to offer. And when, not if, you're impressed and ready to get the subscription, go to mwb.lux.b, get 50% off your subscription. mwb.lvx.be. I want to re-tee. Being better than Kambosos, not a high barrier to get over. Speaking of breaking barriers, Alicia Baumgartner signs with MVP, Most Valuable Promotions. That's the Jake Paul one. That's where Amanda Serrano is.
Jake Paul's getting Serrano big fight.
Exactly.
This
That's
is
exactly
not.
right.
This is a good move.
Somebody I know a lot of people like to clown on Jake Paul. A lot of people like to shit on him because he acts like a jackass in front of the camera. I know that. I know he does. But my man is taking care of fucking business. He gets Serrano paid. He's gonna get Baumgartner paid. He is a very positive force for boxing. This is like what the type of shit that you would hope someone with the clout Dana White has. This is what you would hope they would do, is to elevate women's fights, smaller weight classes, elevate those fights. That's what he does. That's what Jake Paul does. You can, if you disagree with me, fucking 833 Lux Pods. Tell me why. Tell me why you're wrong about Jake Paul.
Jake Paul as a promoter is good.
Yeah.
Jake Paul as a fucking circus act, I hate.
As a personality, yes. He's doing exactly what you are reacting to him. One of the ways that he wants you to is you either hate him, you love him, or you hate him. And I get why people hate. I get it. I really, really do. I do not misunderstand. The guy's fucking annoying when he's in the fighter position and he's promoting himself. But Serrano and Katie Taylor, they've made like life-changing money. Better than any of that TKO pay structure bullshit.
Oh, for sure.
And now Baumgartner, who is another very, very talented woman, super athletic, fucking explosive, dynamic. I'm not sure what other buzzwords I could use, but she is awesome. I'm really glad to see her getting signed to someone who's going to give her the attention that she deserves.
She has a lot of belts right now, right?
Yes.
Baumgartner?
I think she's
Is she
undisputed.
Undisputed?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't check that on BoxRec anymore, can you?
You'd have to look up WBA separately, but if she has the IBO, it's safe to assume she has the WBA as well.
She has the IBF and the IBO.
Oh, so she's not. Oh, yeah, she fought Delphine Pursued in Georgia, and they had that no contest. Like, I think Delphine got a nasty cut.
Right. Yeah, I think that was just a head clash, wasn't it?
It was an accidental. The little bit I could see from the replay didn't look intentional anyway.
I wouldn't expect either of those guys to intentionally be throwing headbutts. Okay, so she is the IBF World Super Feather, IBO World Super Feather, WBC, and WBO.
She's probably also the WBA.
Which one of these is not a real belt?
IBO.
In quotes. IBO. Okay.
Yeah. That's the belt that Manny Pacquiao won at 140. Just in case you were wondering. Let's see. We have a quote from Baumgartner while you're looking that up. I've always believed in betting on myself, and signing with MVP is the next big move in that journey. MVP has proven they're leaders in women's boxing, creating the biggest opportunities for fighters like me to shine. This partnership is a natural fit.
Yeah, she's also got the WBA, so she's undisputed. Yeah.
Man.
No, I think MVP might be the best one for the women right now.
It is. It's got to be.
Jake Paul is putting a lot of effort into getting the women their money, and I don't think. Not that the other guys are particularly.
Garbage. Is that what I'm hearing? Woke DEI bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine. It's not that the other guys don't, but I think he puts more emphasis on it because he doesn't have any other fighters, I guess, or many other fighters, I should say.
Eddie puts good emphasis on women as well. Good,
yeah,
but not nearly as much as MVP.
Well, he's just got so many fighters to try and promote too, right?
Well, of course, Her Majesty Sky Nicholson.
Oh, fuck. She fights this weekend too, doesn't she?
She does. On the Cambosos card. Her Majesty. Good stuff. Well, fucking go me with the segues. Speaking of Majesty, Canelo, the undercard with William Skull, is announced. We alluded to it in when talking about Teofimo, and he was thinking he would have been third in the line. So from the from the bottom up, I was looking at his name: Brian Leon versus Aaron Guerrero. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who these guys are.
I was gonna say I don't recognize those two.
Marco Verde versus Michel Polina. Don't know who that is either. Badu
I do know who Badu Jack is.
Badu Jack versus Ryan Brozicki.
I cannot believe Badu Jack is still fighting.
Yeah.
He has a belt too, doesn't he?
He has the interim WBC cruiserweight. So that's pretty cool. Moving up, Martin Bakoli versus F.A. Ajagba. Now, this was the fight that was this was already scheduled. He took the Joseph Parker fight kind of like at a moment's notice. Apparently, no shit, the money was right for him to drop what he was doing and fly to Saudi Arabia. So this is the fight that was going to happen anyway.
Hopefully Bakoli's been training.
Yeah. Well, this fight's in May, so.
Still, he was a fat sack of shit when he got knocked out.
Man, this to me is the main event. Jaime Munguia versus Bruno Serras, the rematch. This to me is the one I want to see.
I love Mungia, but how fucking great would it be for Sriracha to ice him again?
I would have to send flowers to Marseille.
Like
I don't know why, but
I would be sad. I would be sad, but how fucking great would that be? Like, I did it once, I'll do it again.
Yeah. You want to underestimate the French? This is what happens.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I
don't.
really hope Mungia comes and knocks him out.
Hopefully.
But imagine.
Yeah. And Canelo versus William Skull. Oh, right.
Could not care less about this.
I'm calling him Dinero now. Dinero Alvarez versus William Skull. This makes sense, right? Because we know that Canelo Crawford is coming down the line. So this is reclaiming the IBF belt so that he can be undisputed again.
Okay. That still doesn't make me care.
I know. Just that's the logic behind it. It's not very good, but that's the logic.
Nah, collecting the belts is important, but I don't know. I can't be asked to care about this fight.
CBA, that's a good one. What I like is something that Bally said was we're back in an era where having the belts matter.
Yeah.
Just because so many people
care.
So many people are going undisputed. Even with Usyk dropping the IBF because, like, of course, that happens all the time. They're probably the most dropped title of all, but nonetheless,
well, they enforce the mandatories quite strictly.
Yeah. But it matters to have, if you have one of the major titles. I don't know how much of a major title I consider the WBO to be, just because that exists in the Top Rank ecosystem, and that's about it. I think the only guy who's gotten away with having it outside of that is Usyk, and that's about it.
Yeah, I don't follow the belts like that. I just follow the boxers I like.
Canelo, I guess, as well. Like, if you're enough of a cash cow, then you don't have to give your belt back to Bob.
They let you keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But regardless, we're at a time where having belts matters. Like, beating the other champions matters. Even if they're maybe not the best competition, like Usyk versus Dubois 2, maybe not the best. But we need to reconsolidate.
I think an Usyk Dubois rematch is the best fight he can have right now, to be honest.
I'm partial to Joseph Parker, just because it's a new name. That's really it.
I guess, but Dubois beating AJ in the way he beat AJ.
Yeah, that was legit. Better than Usyk did.
I am curious.
Either
and
time.
the controversy in the first fight. I think that rematch is the fight to make.
Yeah. All right. Maybe not the best example.
Although, bringing up Joseph Parker, did you see his call-out video?
Yes, I did.
I fucking love Joseph Parker. He makes
that was so fun.
The best videos. Anyone who hasn't seen it needs to go find it. It's who sings that song? It's not Shania Twain.
It is Shania Twain.
Is it Shania Twain?
Yeah.
Yeah, he called them out to "You're Still the One" by Shania Twain, which is not a call-out song.
No, but
shot a Backstreet Boys style like music video to it. It's fucking great.
On the beaches of New Zealand. Well done.
Got the homies.
Yep. Yeah, the Kiwis seem like Kiwis and the Maori, I think it is. Seem like a really fun bunch.
Yeah. No, if anybody who hasn't seen it needs to Google it. It's great. And it's a perfect call-out video for Usyk because yelling at him and like being rude isn't gonna work.
No.
Usyk doesn't care.
Yeah.
But if you make him laugh,
Be funny,
and,
get attention. Yeah. Speaking of getting attention, Shakur Stevenson trying to get attention by saying Lomachenko ducked him. I'm not sure. This would be a good time to call in RGF, the resident Shakur Stevenson expert.
yeah, there's a few guys
The few that look
like
Shakur, Terrence Crawford, a few others.
yeah.
I don't know. Did he?
I
don't know.
doesn't matter. Do we care?
I don't know. Not really.
I mean, Loma was old by the time Shakir started calling him out anyways. Loma was old by the time he turned pro, let's be honest.
True.
Like,
Yeah.
unless you were calling him out during No Moschenko, nobody cares, man. You waited until he wasn't scary anymore.
Looking at this article, it's talking to Aegis Klimas. That's the Lomachenko's manager, saying it's more worthwhile to fight Gervonta Davis over Shakur Stevenson.
Wow, it'd be more exciting.
Yeah, it's the bigger money fight. No kidding.
Nobody likes watching Shakur Stevenson.
I doubt even he likes watching Shakur Stevenson.
I was in this discussion last night. Somebody brought up Rigo again, Rigo versus Casemiro, and they said they legitimately enjoyed watching that fight live. And I was like, fucking how? How could you enjoy that garbage? And they were like, well, Rigo just leans into it so much it's funny. And I've said this on the podcast before too. What pisses me off about Shakir so much is that he's not aware of himself at all. And he keeps saying he's going to knock people out and he's going to beat the fuck out of them and all this stuff. No, you're not. You're never going to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
you're going to
be honest about it. Like, I'm going to
you.
embarrass you. I'm going to school you. I'm going to teach you what real boxing is over 12. I'm going to give you a 12-round lesson. So, strap in, youngster, because you're going to school. I just
you're
cut
never
a better
gonna
promo.
touch me.
Yeah, you're never going to touch me. I just cut a better promo than Shakur ever has. There you go.
And ever will.
Yeah.
Because he's so fucking insecure about how boring he is. But Rigo's like, I don't give a fuck. I get paid the same no matter how much people like it. Like, I don't get paid more if I get punched in the face.
Looking at this, going down further into the Klimas quotes, everybody thinks Loma is done and out of it. Everybody wants to fight Loma. I think it's good because if Loma comes back, that would be a very good fight to make with Tank. What is a Shakur and what is a Tank? Skill and finance. Tank is a much better fighter in my way and an up and coming fighter. I'm not sure what that means. In my way, that part I don't get.
I think that's just him having trouble with
English,
I
yeah.
think he means like in my eyes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, he's a much better fighter in my view, my eyes. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to take anything away from Shakur. He's a good fighter, but he's a bumper. He goes into a shell and runs away. Tank comes to fight. It's a more interesting fight. It's a more intriguing fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hard to argue. No notes.
I think Loma's too old anyways. I think Loma's done.
If he comes back, it'll be for Tank, and however it ends, that'll be the end of it, because it's a huge money fight.
Yeah, fair.
and that's it.
I think the chances of us seeing Loma in the ring again in like an actual fight is pretty low. I'd put it at like 15%.
Oof.
He's done.
Yeah, I think
He's
so.
got his money. He's happy. He's got his legacy. Why come back and chance ruining it?
At this stage, though, going off the boxing laundry theory, isn't he at a point where all he is name value, and that's really it? Like, we know he's past it, and it's just really having his name on your resume, and that's really it. And he's like selling his name right now.
Yeah, but why? Why do that? I don't know.
Money. That's it. That's all I can think of is money.
Loma's got enough money. He doesn't need it.
But tank money is a lot.
Yeah, I guess.
That's my what the rationale would be.
I'm just
from my end.
lazy. I have no
No ambition.
drive
Yeah.
to be like super rich.
Yeah.
If I didn't have to work anymore, I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm not a world famous boxer. So.
But if I had enough money to the point where I don't have to work, there would be a good portion of that I would be spending on like philanthropies. Like, oh, what's that? Hungry children? Here's like more food than you can eat in a fucking month. Enjoy that. Hungry puppies and kittens? Here's more food than you can eat in one sitting. But
yeah, I think you're a better person than me. I would be blowing my money on like bullshit constantly.
Oh,
not crazy bullshit, but like I want to learn how to be a blacksmith this year and just hire somebody to come teach me blacksmithing.
I would do shit like that too, but I don't know. Maybe it's just different mentalities, but
my money can philanther after I'm dead with whatever's left over.
Oh, that's all we got.
Oh, there was one small news thing that I forgot about until now. Did you see that Triple G got boxing back in the Olympics?
I saw that he was campaigning for it, and I did see that it is going to stay in the Olympics.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, very cool. We've had a lot of great Olympians coming out. MJ, solid. I think Madrimov as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of those guys from the smaller countries wouldn't get a shot
If
without
they
the
didn't have
Olympics.
the medals, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I actually don't even watch Olympic boxing.
I know Isaac
but
does.
I'm glad it exists.
Yeah, it's good to have. It's a good gauge of, or it helps you set expectations. Like for some people, you can set them higher, like Andy Cruz, gold medalist. So you can set your expectations a little bit higher and expect a little bit more out of him. And you're not like, why is he in a 10-round fight with this like 17-3-1 guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it gives young boxers that like more attainable goal.
Yeah.
Like a solid, I want to be on the Olympic team. I want an Olympic gold medal. It's something to really work towards before you become a professional and need to work towards like the belts. Like it's a stepping stone in your career. Stepping stone's the wrong milestone. Is the stone I was looking for.
Man.
I think having them is a good thing.
It is.
Although sometimes people stay too long trying to get a medal, stay in the amateurs too long.
Or even if they have a gold medal, they continue fighting in the amateur system, like Rigondeaux, like Lomachenko. Like, yeah, you're like 25 years old beating up teenagers. Congratulations. You're so talented.
Yeah. But
still.
Anyways,
cool to have.
I think that's good for the sport.
Absolutely.
Being in the Olympics.
Because we don't have like a collegiate system the same way like NFL or NBA.
Or wrestling.
Yeah, even wrestling has it. So that's it. Holy shit. I'm just gonna put the plug shit at the end. Be better if you don't fast forward through it. Maybe just give it a listen. Parting words. What do you got?
What do I got? Ah, fuck. I actually did my homework this time, and I left the book at work. I was doing podcast stuff at work because I didn't want to do work. No, I lost it. I have no idea what I was gonna say.
I'm gonna be out of town starting on. We're recording this on Friday. It's currently about 6:15 in the evening, and I'm gonna be leaving on Sunday. I'm gonna be out through most of the week, so Ultimate Effing Casual is gonna be delayed. Hopefully Alex is feeling better. Maybe we could get some boxing in the way into the feed. Either way, I'm gonna be out, but we'll be back. I'll be back, and I'm coming at your fucking eardrums. I'm coming for them.
Are you at least doing something fun?
I'm going to. I don't know how fun this is. It's fun for me. I'm going to DC, and I'm going to be lobbying for military veterans who have been deported from the U.S. because they weren't citizens.
That sounds important, but maybe not fun.
Not quite as not fun for anyone hearing me describe it, but it's important stuff.
Yeah, very important.
Like, how the fuck? How are you gonna be like one guy? He's currently in detention. He went to Iraq like 2 or 3 times, and now he's being processed for deportation. Like, are you? What the fuck is happening? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I do not get America's treatment of their veterans. I've seen a couple Instagram reels and stuff where Doge has made so many cuts, and it's just veterans crashing out because they can't get their therapy and stuff.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to get their medications renewed and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. It makes me really sad.
That's me. I don't know how I'm gonna get my medication.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
If I don't have
especially for a country that pretends that they care so much about their military.
Yeah. Well, without my medications, who knows? Maybe I'll spontaneously combust. I expect.
I hope not.
That's gonna.
I would be sad. Instead of parting words, I have one more idiocy from the Canadian boycotts.
Oh.
This isn't so much a boycott.
More vandalism.
So, no, this is actually my home province being stupid as fuck. So my home province went conservative. It has for a while now. And they have decided that they're not going to allow the liquor stores in my home province of Saskatchewan to sell Coors Light and Budweiser products. But Coors Light is, I think, a Molson product now. It's made in Canada. There's Canadian breweries. And Budweiser also has Canadian breweries. So they're fucking over people who work in those breweries. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I know we don't like American products and American companies right now, but that shit's just made in Canada. I'm pretty sure Coors Light has a brewery in Saskatchewan.
I think Coors is Molson. That does sound accurate.
Yeah, and they're not pulling Molson because Molson makes Canadian the beer. This is the worst. What's the catchphrase thing? Virtue signaling I have ever fucking seen.
This is virtual.
Goddamn, Scotty Mo, get your head out of your ass. It's so fucking stupid. This one is stupid. The turning shit over is just kind of funny, but This is stupid, and it's stupid people that are gonna fall for it. But I really think it's gonna backfire on him, because my dad and his buddies, they drink Budweiser. And I know a ton of people that drink Budweiser and Coors Light, and you don't take people's beer away. Like, the farmers have not gotten on board with this craft beer stuff. I drink 8,000 of the same thing every year.
Yeah, those are exactly the types. What you would imagine a more traditionally conservative. Like, I like my beer. I like this. This is the one I like. This is the one I drink. Anything else, I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I see this one backfiring. I am waiting for him to reverse it very quickly. And I'm waiting for a bunch of farmers to get mad and dump pig shit on his lawn, because that's one of our favorite protest things.
Wow,
They just
pig shit.
bring a trailer of pig shit and dump it on your lawn.
Let's just hope that one of those pig farmers isn't Robert Pickton.
I actually went to school with his cousin's kid.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Picton. Oh.
Yeah. They were not close. He was a weirdo. The family didn't talk to him. But
That's what I learned about him through my true crime studies. Yeah.
He is not one of those ones where people said, like, "Oh, we never saw it coming."
No, it was like, of course he did. Of course he did.
You guys hadn't investigated him 10 years ago?
Yeah, actually, that comes up in the series that I had listened to about him.
Yeah.
But that's enough. If you don't know who Robert Pickton is, you can call the number 833-589-7637. You can text, and I'll tell you exactly who Robert Pickton is. You're not going to like it. It's going to be very distressing, and it's going to be uncomfortable to read, but I'll tell you exactly who he is. Otherwise, if you got anything to say about the Inoue debut or re-debut in the U.S., Adrian Broner and his dice, AJ getting injured, the TKO pay structure, if that's not distressing, I don't know what would be.
Yeah, well, and I go figure out how it's illegal right now, because I don't really understand. You go figure it out and explain it to me in a call.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. We'll catch you next time on we're going boxing before dark, because it's still light out for me and it's light out for you.
10 a.m. baby.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hi, man. Fucking
Yeah.
what a solemn update. God damn.
This one kind of surprised me. Like, I hadn't heard he was sick or anything.
Same.
Pretty healthy.
So, for the uninitiated, which if you're listening to this, chances are you probably already know, but nonetheless, just today, I found out a few moments ago, George Foreman, the George Foreman, passed away at his home in Houston, Texas. Oh, man. Olympic gold medalist. Holy shit. I didn't know that part. I knew he was an Olympian, but I didn't know he won the gold. Of course he did.
Of course he did.
Yeah. What
Man, this one kind of hurts me.
It does. I'm feeling it. I'm getting all misty up here. Like, man. This
Big George. Man, such a good life story. What a redemption arc in the second half. Like, going from being the bad guy, not gangster, but just mean, angry person that beat people up and enjoyed it, to born again, I gotta go back to fighting so I can pay for all these kids to have a recreation second chance. Big George, man. That makes me sad. Maybe next week we need to come back and do a bit of a memorial one.
Absolutely. This is just a little addendum to mention that we're aware that this happened Man, I'm at a loss for words. I remember playing his game on Sega Genesis when I was a kid. I used to play the George Foreman game when I was stationed. My first duty station, it was in Japan, and one of the guys that had been there for a while, he had a George Foreman grill. That it was, to me, I had seen. Go on.
I got so many George Foreman grills as graduation presents. Like, I think I got 3 or 4 of them. That's what everybody gave everybody when I was graduating high school.
Yeah, that was the thing to have in the barracks that we were at, just because like a lot of cooking devices weren't allowed, but George Foreman grills were. And yeah, man, I'm broken up here. Like, George Foreman was him. He was like even though he was older, nonetheless, it was him and Mike Tyson. That to me was heavyweight boxing.
Yeah. Well, and George Foreman was just so good in interviews and such a funny guy.
Yeah.
Like, when he was making his comeback, there's an interview, and I've watched this particular interview quite a few times because it's hilarious. And I forget which late night show it was, but they asked him who hit the hardest, and I think he says Joe Frazier. And the guy's like, not Ernie Shavers? Because that's who everybody says. And Big George was like, oh, I never fought Ernie Shavers, and I thank the Lord I didn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to either.
Man, Big George is gone. That makes me so sad.
It is.
And him on HBO as the color commentator.
Yeah.
So good.
What was the guy that was on with Lampley and him?
Oh, I know who you're talking about, and I can't think of the other guy's name.
The guy that said to Floyd Mayweather, he said, if I was 50 years younger, I'd kick your ass. I'm going to look this up.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't even know what to... I guess just HBO boxing.
Yeah. Was it? It wasn't Letterman. No, it wasn't Letterman.
No, he did the scorecards.
Yeah. Larry Merchant.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this another central figure of the glory days? Seeing the old legends.
Big George was the last one kind of from that era, wasn't he?
I think so. Like, Emmanuel Stewart passed on. I think Jim Lampley is all that's really left.
Well, I was thinking like boxers.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like,
I think you're right.
Heavyweight boxing from, what was that, the 70s?
70s, yes.
80s? I think George was the last one.
Man. Yeah, well, we definitely have to give him his due time.
Yeah, I'm going to go do some actual research, get some actual quotes instead of me trying to remember them.
Yeah. Yeah, just a quick addendum to add on to the end, but fucking hope I don't know, best wishes to his family. I hope they're all doing, as good as they can be, all things considered.
Yeah. Man, this probably for his family it didn't, but for me, this came out of nowhere.
Same. I was surprised. Alex brought it up in the middle of I was talking to Isaac about something just completely unrelated, and Alex came in and mentioned it. It's like, God damn! Like, are you messing with me? Don't mess with me with this. This isn't funny.
Yeah. Fuck. Anyway.
Yeah.
I guess there's not much else to say other than
not for the moment.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Best wishes to to the Foreman family. Yeah, we'll give Big George his time next time we get together.
Yeah.
Welcome to the fucking show. All right, just a quick blurb, just so you could get back to what you were doing. Why would a boxing fan, let's assume they're like a purist or some shit. Why would they want to watch MMA? Why would they want to listen to an MMA show?
I'm gonna come at this from sort of like a primal level. So I will admit there are like some very like unique and like stark differences between MMA and boxing, and it seems like one of the main things that keeps boxing fans away from MMA is the grappling aspect. And yes, sometimes it can be, you know, a lay and pray type of fight, and it can get old. But man, like, it's just instinctual. Man, some of these people, the way they fight in MMA is just brutal. And I feel like that's what it comes down to when it comes to being a combat fan, a combat sports fan. I mean, we saw it just recently, Mauricio Rufy versus Bobby Green, a spinning back fit or spinning a wheel kick. Man, they went viral, and it's something that everyone can appreciate, even boxing fans. I know if you have a few friends that are boxing fans, who I sent them that clip. I mean, and they were amazed, and that, you know, they one even told me that they wish they would have seen it live, because seeing that type of stuff live just elicits like a euphoric feeling that, you know, you can't get. I mean, it happens in boxing too. Whenever you see like an amazing fight, but I just gotta say, like, in MMA, you get those type of fights as well, just in a different type. It's different, but sort of the same. It's sort of weird how I describe it, but it's different but the same. It comes down to that same like carnal or primal instinct of just like fights.
Yeah, I always think like the easiest transition that I always recommend, I say this all the time on Ultimate Fucking Casuals, is if you're not too keen on the grappling, Muay Thai and kickboxing are exactly where you want to start. Like, you start working in the kicks, the elbows, the knees, that's all that stuff, and you can come to learn to appreciate grappling. I never thought I would, and here I am.
Yeah, like I said, some of it is very boring. Some of the grappling, it depends on the fighters, but sometimes, man,
there's
these,
boring
like,
boxing
scrambles
fights all the time.
Yeah, you're true. I mean, or you're right. But man, some of these grapplers, man, these scrambles that they do, it is like pretty crazy just to see it. Like, you know, rolling around the floor. I mean, you can see the stuff that they're doing in between in the scrambles. I mean, it's sort of crazy. Flipping someone over, the trips. I mean, it can be fun. But yeah, you're right. The easiest transition is definitely start out with Muay Thai, kickboxing, and, you know, slowly work your way into MMA. And you know, this is the thing about the Ultimate Fucking Casuals. We will let you know which fights are going to be good. Which ones, you know, if you're not too in tune with the grappling, we can get maybe a little tag or a little asterisk on certain fights saying, like, this is a boxing purist type of fight.
Yeah.
You can watch this and enjoy this. Like, we'll let you know.
Yeah, we always try. Like, I came into this, the whole show was started with me. I didn't know shit about MMA. I'd never really seen an MMA fight in its entirety in my entire life. And I came into this with nothing. And yeah, that's where we're at now, is like, we're talking, like, I make sure, I go out of my way to bring up Muay Thai and bring up kickboxing so that people know, like, this is for boxing fans to know, this is where you can start. All right. Well, yeah, that was about it. I really appreciate your time. Thanks, Isaac, for jumping on real quick.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
All right.